Hey, y'all, it's Ron in the Y'all 106.7 studio with Mcbride The Ride. Welcome in, guys. How's it going?
Thanks for having us.
We probably did this about 35 years ago under, a similar situation in a room that looked a lot like this.
Very familiar.
We haven't aged a day. We all look exactly the way we did about 35 years ago. I love it.
We'll leave it at that.
That's pretty cool. 35 years together as a band. That's an accomplishment.
I mean, still talking to each other, still enjoy hanging out together.
Yeah,
we rode in the same vehicle all the way here together.
Yeah.
We made it.
And that's the terrible little secret that a lot of people don't know is there's great big bands that won't talk to each other. Right. You guys are friends. That's
still
pretty
touring,
cool.
but separately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's cool. 35 years together, but you've had a ton of solo stuff that you've went out and done. You've written. You've been on tour with other people. You've played with other people. Is that what keeps the family harmony going? Is you've got these other side projects, or do you just you have that other creative outlet as well, or is it just you're good friends and you all get along?
It brings certain things out in each of us that we bring back to this.
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
And it keeps us busy. Everybody's got a side project, 2 or 3 really. And Ray, Billy, myself, we all do other things, but we really enjoy doing this too. So we find a way to kind of make it all happen. So it's a great situation to be in for us because Ray's been with La Love It forever and also runs a venue out in Scottsdale his family's had forever. And Billy's been with Vince Gill off and on and getting ready to do the Ryman for in August, and they does the Christmas show. And I've been writing, and I go off and do some solo singer-songwriter shows. So yeah, it's been great, and we throw Mcbride The Ride in that as well. It's in the mix of everything we do.
We do other projects to actually make a living.
Yeah.
And
this is
for fun.
It really is.
We go out there on the road, play a little music, and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's fun because you get to go out and ride and be with, Brooks and Dunn or Vince Gill or Lyle Lovett, and you get, you get that interaction, and you get to go and write some great big tunes that have monster hits, and you get to come back and do this and have a good time.
We are. And plus we've been writing some stuff together and recording some new stuff as well.
Right.
And we have a live EP that's
getting ready to
right
drop
now.
So. Right. Yeah, be out in the fall.
We stay in the studio and we keep busy doing that, and that's what this is all about for us. Is get out there and play a few shows and still do what we do.
So let's go back to 30 years ago. It's been 30 years since 8 Seconds came out. That's impossible, right? That can't be that long.
I mean, that is shocking.
So, but what a great thing for your career at that moment, So how does it feel when somebody says all of a sudden, like, you're going to be involved in this project?
We had to fight to be, I joke about it during the show. We're in the movie 8 seconds for about 6 seconds, but we had to fight for that. We were, it was the 90s, and we were playing a couple of hundred shows a year. Honestly, and I know our management was very adamant that that's going to take some time off and in order to be in that movie. But we really wanted to do it. It was exciting, the thought, the possibility. So we flew down to San Antonio. We're supposed to be in Las Vegas at the, it's the championship buckle ceremony, for Lane Frost, which Luke Perry is Lane Frost, of course. But we're actually in a hotel off the interstate in San Antonio, Texas. The magic of Hollywood, Stephen Baldwin and Tuff Hedeman was there, and Lane's wife. It was a great experience, and we really wanted to do it. And a lot of other artists did it as well. I think Vince is in there, and Brooks and Dunn and whoever. And it was just an exciting time, and we knew the movie had the potential to be something cool because the soundtrack was coming together really well, and they asked us to try to write something for that first single, and we had the first single, so we thought, what a better situation to be involved. And it was fun. We got to pretend like we were movie stars. It
absolutely
took forever.
No,
and then
fun.
You see our part. I watched it recently with my youngest daughter. She's 22. She'd never seen it. And it's just a love story. It's the sweetest movie ever, and sad as well, but the beauty of watching it at home, I rewound myself about 4 or 5 times to prove.
Well,
there's your dad.
And it's become such a kind of a cult movie for the rodeo crowd as well. Yeah. So we have, that song "No More Crying" that Terry wrote with Josh Leo, and it's a great song, and it's going to be on the EP, as a matter of fact, as well. And then there's a song that Terry also wrote that was on our first record called Trick Rider. So we have these rodeo songs that really appeal to that rodeo crowd that's just, huge in today's world.
And John Anderson cut our song "Burnin Up The Road" in that movie, which was a big thrill because we all love John, and it was exciting to hear him do that song as well. So yeah, we have a lot of ties to that movie, and still love playing those songs. And yeah, one of the '90s, there were so many opportunities. If you were having some success, there were a lot of opportunities out there. I mean, we did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day. We rode a big float down Times Square. It's like
the prom wave.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
we did for hours.
Absolutely.
It took forever.
Exactly.
It was rainy, but it was so much fun.
Oh,
it was so cool and just a great opportunity. I remember that morning. I knew we'd finally made it because we all had our trailer, and they put you with another sled. I was in the trailer with Miss America and Sherry Lewis. Lamb chop. Yeah, she was in there with lamb chop. I went, oh my God, I've made it.
It's the big time.
Yeah, I finally. I mean, I grew up as a kid. That was. I went, wow, this is pretty crazy.
So let's jump into the early 2000s, and Amarillo Sky, Big and Rich get together with some guys in a room, and they come up with this great song, and John cuts it. You guys cut it. Eventually, Jason Aldean cuts it.
Yeah.
You guys have a live version now.
Oh yeah. We're excited to kick off that EP. That's the first single off of it. But
we wanted to release it as a single for us when we recorded that record in 2002, but unfortunately the record company just, for whatever the reason, they weren't able to get behind it at that time, and so unfortunately a lot of people didn't really hear our version of it. Right. And I one day when we were driving out to the studio to record this record, Billy and I were in his little truck driving out, you remember?
Yeah,
and I'm
sure
shuffling through this shoebox full of songs that we were pitched by publishers. And for some reason, that name stuck out because, the Texas connection, the whole thing, Amarillo Sky, and I liked the look of the CD cover, so I popped it in the CD player, and we listened to it. I said to Billy, man, that sounds like a hit song.
So
we took it out to the studio, played it for Matt Rawlings, who was producing the record at his little studio home out in Franklin. And then when Terry got there, he heard it, and they both loved it too. But the last verse,
it just had a line or two that was odd for me personally. And I'm from Texas, so I got the imagery and everything was just hit me really strong. But so we asked Big Kenny and John Rich if they'd come out and rewrite that second verse. And they did.
Oh,
They've been
amazing.
out partying all night.
but we didn't know who had written.
That happens.
We didn't know who wrote the song. We didn't know who the writers were yet.
No, but we found out
who
there
it
was.
Yeah.
So they told me, they said, Terry, you write it. But there were 4 writers, and back in that day, I was like, 4 writers already? That was unheard of. 5 guys writing it. I said, you just come out. And they did. They went in the kitchen, and they wrote probably one of the best lines in the whole song is the line, "Please let my crops and children grow. It's the only life I've ever known," which we couldn't believe it. I mean, it was so better, much better than what they had. But these guys, they weren't big and rich yet. I tell people they were small and poor back when they were just excited to get a cut, really.
I remember after we recorded the song, and they come out and rewrote that last verse. We finished recording the song, and I was living here back then at the time, and I had my '89 Bronco, and I saw both of them down at some club down in Midtown, and I go, "Hey, you guys, come out and listen to our cut of Amarillo Sky." They were so excited. They climbed to the back of my Bronco, and they were like, "Oh man, we're so excited at the time to have a Mcbride The Ride cut."
Yep.
So longer story shorter, we ended up, putting it on this record, and it just didn't get released. So a few years later,
Michael Knox, the producer with Jason Aldean, I'd known. Michael used to be my publisher. He's like, "Man, we love that version. You guys killed it, and we're just going to take it and use it and cut it on Jason." I said,
so they did.
We thought it was a hit, so good luck with it. We could tell it was a big song. Yeah, our label just thought maybe it was a regional kind of hit. They didn't see the big picture, but we thought we've got one.
Yeah,
and
we had
we didn't write it, but we thought this is a great song. But
we had the map was right for a hit record. It just wasn't the right timing for us.
Well, so now we have our chance.
Yeah, sorry to say, I'm glad you're having the opportunity to go back and revisit it. I got to listen to it. It sounds great.
And it's live too.
And it's live, absolutely. So I can't wait to hear the whole project. But
we're pretty
that's
proud
pretty
of it.
cool.
We're having fun.
And speaking of having fun, you get to spend some time with the Time Jumpers, which I think would just be incredibly fun.
It is. It's every Monday night, and it's It's a treasure, I think,
think so.
for Nashville, and it's become a destination also.
Yeah. When I first moved here, 100 years ago, I didn't know, and you move in and you start hearing about the Time Jumpers and you go, wow, this is really cool. And it's just a bunch of great musicians getting together, not for the money, not for the fame, just to get together and jam and have a great time. So if you guys have not had an opportunity to check out the Time Jumpers, definitely do that. I mean, that's awesome.
I used to go when I was first joining, and Vince Gill was there before. He'd go, "You got to get in this. You got to get in this band." He goes, "They actually divvy up cash. It's bowling money. That's what he calls it. It's just bowling money. It's not that much, but
they pack it.
There were 10 people in the band at that time."
Well, I've been there a few nights where it looks like Vince just ran off the golf course. He's in his, he's in his shorts and a golf shirt, and he probably did. He probably just ran in. Sounds great, plays great, everything's awesome. So you guys are going to be at Chiefs on Saturday.
Yeah,
so that's pretty exciting, right?
Yeah. Get down there and throw some chairs off the top of that.
Yeah, we'll try not to do that.
I hear it's a thing.
I think
Wow.
Yeah, I went to the grand opening. I had no idea. I mean, I saw the chair, but that wasn't the first thing that came to my mind. But
normally you sit in them. That's something new.
That was a heavy chair.
Yeah.
But they've got a cool venue in there for people who haven't been. It's a little bit different than a lot of the other, honky tonks on Broadway. We've all experienced a few of them, or maybe you haven't. But the way they have it set up, it's cool. Each floor is something different, and the third and fourth floor is like a little bit of a Ryman vibe in there. It's got a really cool balcony, and it's got a main floor. They're connected, of course, but a nice stage. So it's a performance room. It's a ticketed event. It's not just coming off the street and anything goes. It's people who really want to come see and listen and hear something.
But at this moment, tickets are still available.
Yeah.
So people can...
Just a few.
Yeah.
So hurry and get some. Don't wait.
As well you can.
They're going fast as we speak.
Yeah. Well, it's only been open for, a handful of weeks, so it's kind of cool that you guys are going to be some of the first people to get to play there.
Yeah,
we're excited about that.
Some 90s acts, I can tell, and it's a good variety of stuff. Some songwriter shows that are really interesting. They have a lot of songwriter, and also I think Eric's doing a sort of a residency type of vibe thing going on there. We're solo, but they're making it interesting, and more power to them. I hope it does well.
Yeah. So if somebody's excited about the show, are they going to hear some 90s stuff? Are they going to hear some of the new stuff?
Yeah,
sure.
Awesome. That's exactly what it is. I mean, we're kind of doing the set from '92.
Okay. Yeah.
And then putting some new music that we've been recording over the last couple of years into that set list.
And it's a 4-piece band. We've always been a 4-piece band, with exception of in the studio you add a few things here or there. But that's what Bruce Boughton is playing steel guitar with us. Bruce played on the first time I ever heard Bruce Boughton, he was playing with the Ricky Skaggs band when that first Ricky Skaggs big country record came out in probably 84, 83, I don't know.
That's about right. Yeah.
And he and Ray Flack were in the band, and I saw him in Phoenix at the Celebrity Theater, and I was just like, wow, these guys are great. So we've all known Bruce, and Bruce played on our record Sacred Ground, played on Sacred Ground, and
all those
so
Brooks, he had some Brooks in
and he played with us. Matter of fact, he worked up Sacred Ground with us in Lafayette, Louisiana. One time when we were playing there, we worked it up on stage at the Yellow Rose, remember?
Yeah.
In Lafayette, and went out and had some great Cajun food that night. Yeah. But then we played it live, and we knew it was a hit when we played it live, and then we recorded it. But Bruce has been with us for all these years, kind of off and on, but he's playing with us now player. Again. So.
Speaking of Sacred Ground,
I mean,
we've actually decided to do that for you guys.
I was just about to ask, so that's perfect timing. You want to do that for us?
Sure.
That would be awesome. We would appreciate that immensely.